Hey, what is up guys, Marcy here, back to do another video, and today I've got a interesting game to say the least on Tiki Turmoil. Something happened in this game that has not happened ever before in Kane's Wrath, at least for me. Maybe it happened to someone else, but this is my first experience. Anyways, Kane's Wrath, I'm going to be streaming and playing this game because I enjoy it more than Tempest Rising, even though Tempest Rising is all the buzz right now. It just doesn't resonate for me. I don't find it too interesting. Very generic, as I mentioned in my previous video, at least in my humble opinion. That could change on release, but controls, user interface, even unit design has to change, but I know that's not happening. They have to finish working on a third faction, so it's very likely that the problems that exist with the game won't be solved by then. That, and I like the Command & Conquer universe more. I like right-click scrolling. This is what's gonna keep me playing Kane's Wrath. So I did something there that isn't possible in Tempest Rising. I rotated the camera. Yes, right. In 2008, you had the ability, guys, to rotate the camera 360 degrees. In 2025, can't do that. So we've gone back in some aspects. Turn the camera around so I can get a better look at where my opponent's units were coming from, so I could target them better. It's also good for killing Mechapede. You want to aim the head. You want to have as much of the Mechapede head on your screen as possible, so you have less chance of missing it. I think that has to be one of the most unique interactions in all RTS. The way that the counter system works against Mechapedes. Because you have to specifically target the head with force fire. Else you're just killing the body segments, which doesn't kill the unit. So this, remember what I mentioned at the start of the game where there was something that didn't happen before? Well, it's going to happen now. I'm going to put this rifleman inside of the harvester as it was about to dock. Rifleman goes in the harvester goes into the refinery, and unfortunately that will cause one of the biggest bugs to happen in the game. It's even worse than your standard harvester bug, because now my harvester is stuck. It cannot dock in that ref, and it's holding up the other harvesters from docking in there as well. It's permanently stuck. The refinery is inoperable. I will have no choice here but to sell it. At this point I was very puzzled. Now this does happen in the vanilla game too. One solution to fixing this would be to adjust the can enter filters so that when the harvester is docking, riflemen's and infantry cannot enter the harvester and garrison it. Logically, it should be that way, but bit of a, how can I put this, oversight from the developers. Easy to fix, however, and it doesn't happen all that often anyway, since no one really garrisons their harvesters. This harvester of mine, though, is permanently stuck, so technically I lost a refinery and a harvester. This harvester is dead weight. It's got a full load of tip, but it's stuck there till the end of the game, unless it gets destroyed. But I'm gonna have to try and ignore that. I took a big hit there. I'm gonna have to try and come back from this very precarious situation. I am versus Scrin, which is known to be very good against steel Talons, though nowadays they do lack the ability to hex lane as they could in the vanilla patch. That was something that people didn't enjoy in Kane's Wrath. I think it put people off from playing the multiplayer, but if you guys play R22, you can enjoy the game without being hex laned, without people teleporting their EMP'd Eradicator. That no longer does work. Base field is not permanent when units are EMP'd. You can still teleport hexapods and epic units. That was not the way I solved hex lane. It was through solving the bugs and the exploits. The exploits and the bugs was what made it pretty unfair. So here comes all of these MRTs. Most of them are garrisoned up with missile squads. There's one there with a rifleman inside, but that if I ever come across a lot of disintegrators, the mines are going to be very good in defending those off. Storm Column comes down. Detector revealing those mines. That does have stealth detection in a small radius. Instead of taking up the tier 3 and going mav tanks, I decided I need to keep the pressure up. I need to keep my opponent base contained for as long as possible. It's unlikely he'll consider Storm Riders at this point, since I am going for Mass Pitbull. I still control a lot of them. I've got two groups, a secondary group going towards his blue field. I want to see if there's a harvester there, taking blue tip, take that out if possible. There's a tip spike at my blue field. Good job I went there to scout it, because if I had sent my harvesters to that blue field, yes, of course, it would have had been a bad situation. Would have lost it to the lightning spike. I can take out to tier 3 at this point and get the mortar upgrade for my Pipples. I have enough Pipples in the map to justify that. I got a lot of Orcas. Speaking of upgrades, one exists for the Orcas that nobody really gets. That is the hardpoints upgrade. It increases the ammo capacity by 50%. That's also another upgrade that I should be getting. Only costs $2,000 in this community patch. A little bit cheaper than the vanilla game. Definitely worth it if you're playing as a Steel Talons. You don't have zone heads, you can't put zone troopers in your hammerheads, you've only got basic rocket squads. Aside from no zone troopers and advanced infantry, aircraft remains the same as GDI. You've got Firehawks just as the GDI, hammerheads as well. Lots of multitasking in this particular game. Took out that lightning spike. Upgrade complete. Got that hardpoints upgrade. I've got to return to base to get those fully refilled. Paying special attention to these Orcas so I don't lose them. And my multitasking here was really on point. Controlling 3 groups, you got to be pretty quick with the APM. I'm even pulling back those Orcas that are being targeted so I don't lose them. I want to try and minimize the losses as possible. I'm still trying to offset the loss of that refinery and harvester at the start of the game. Titans coming out now from 2 factories, but I'm soon going to get pushed by a bunch of tripods and don't have anything there to defend. My Titans are out of position. Pibbles, I am keeping some forces of his at his base. He can't attack me with everything, and we will soon expect to see some support powers coming down here, such as the stasis shield. Orcas I'm looking to flank his tripod with. I feel like one volley is enough for my Titans to finish it off. I don't want to stay in that Gunwalker AA damage for a long period of time, or I will lose my Orcas quickly. Lots of Orcas here. I'm going to target some units that are pretty stranded. And here is where Storm Riders would be excellent for him to build, but I do have anti-infantry, anti-aircraft I should say. Not just those Pitbulls, but the MRTs with the rockets inside will count as some AA2. And you see, I don't have tier 3. I'm using just basic tier 2 units. Pitbulls and Orcas mostly are carrying this game for me so far. Harvester looking to go to that blue field. I will be forced to turn that back. And he will no doubt have his third established at this point. Gonna have to pull back there. There's some disintegrators chasing me. Very powerful unit, the disintegrator, when your opponent doesn't have anti-infantry. Hammerhead of mine, though, will respond to that. There's his expansion. And I was like, I'm not going in there. Too many units to defend. He can even place down a storm column and insta-kill the Orcas. He's getting some resources from this spike, so why not just destroy it? Scrin have no shortage of resources. They have that Icol seed that they can continuously recycle, as well as the growth accelerators, which are pretty meaty in this patch. They have way more health. They're much more durable. And as of late, I am enjoying the Bloodhound support power, both from GDI and Steel Talons. They're just very useful units that they spawn in. 2 APCs and 2 Pitbulls. Almost always those units will be useful. They're going to provide you with some anti-infantry, and they're especially good against aircraft since both can target air. In the case of Wolverines, you often summon them in for some quick anti-infantry. Those Wolverines of APM are super powerful. Orcus sweep in there, kill the husk. You only need 2 rockets to kill a husk. He's got shields both on his tripods and gunwalkers. I have not yet got railguns. Not much in the form of tier 3 is out for me. I've just got Titans, 11 of them. And they are pushing forward. Orcus in the top of the map. I'm going to see if I can kill a harvester or 2. There's some tip there for me to harvest. I'm going to grab that whilst harassing him if possible. It looks like he's already anticipated these orcas and does take them out there with the storm column. I did pay for it, however, with 2 of my orcas. And here comes this attack. I've got 2 MAV tanks, 2 tripods. 3 tripods is nowhere near enough to kill this many times, especially if I get them in the line formation. They're going to be able to deal with this force quite nicely. Railguns online now. I decide to quickly use the Railgun Accelerator, which will double the rate of fire of those units. In patch 1.0, the Railgun Accelerator was 180% additional rate of fire. In the future patches, though, EA did buff it to 200%. I feel with current cooldown, 180% probably seems more reasonable. Nevertheless, MAV tanks with that railgun upgrade, so effective, so powerful. Didn't really need it there. Don't think I needed the railguns. MAV is out. Can't really go into his expansion. He's not leeching his blue field. I've been preventing him from getting there with the orcas. That's a beauty of the Orca strategy. It secures blue tip for you while it complicates it for your opponent. A warp chasm comes down, so he's going to be matching my Marv with the power of his hexapod. That's going to come out soon. Tripods are out once again. What would do him wonders at this point in time would be a bunch of shock troopers. And he's got a lot of tripods. That's a lot of tripods, but since I believe he uses Stasis Shield earlier, if I recall correctly, I can't quite remember. But if he did, that's a pain for him, since he would ideally need it against this Marv. Marv not too effective since it doesn't have zone troopers inside, but as you'll see here, it doesn't matter that you don't have zone troopers in the Marv because it serves as a meat shield. Your DPS is what is behind the Marv, which in this case is there's Titans and Orcas. Super weapon IQ just to secure funds more than anything, because what I can do is I can cancel a super weapon, get that quick 5 grand for support powers. I didn't intend to ever use the ion cannon or place it, but having it queued allows you to secure funds, like sort of like a bank account. Shockwave artillery comes down. I want to get at that shard AA, try to avoid unnecessary losses, especially as Steel Talons and this Rifleman turret Marv is moving through, and Titans excel in this position. In a situation like this, Titans are amazing because they're going to be able to shoot over buildings. And whilst he's defending his base, in his base, those Titans are going to be unmatched, taking those tripods out from over the power plants, from over the production structures that he has. Hexapod back there doing what it can, but it is simply outgunned at this point. Those 2 MAV tanks will bait it forward. I enable adaptive armor, killing these husks. I don't want him to reclaim those as Scrin. When you reclaim husks, you get the shield on the tripod again, and that is going to be GG. Despite the harvester incident at the start of the game, I was able to use pretty epic multitasking to pull through a win and take that one. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed that game. If you did, don't forget to hit this like button. I really appreciate that. And I have more videos to come this week. Expecting another 2 videos this week. I have them ready to go. So yeah, guys, thank you very much for watching. Stay tuned to my channel. Subscribe to my YouTube channel to not miss any further Kane's Wrath action. So this is it from me, Master Leaf, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.